Hey, I am back. If you missed me the last 2 weeks, I had severe laryngitis. Like, couldn't hear me at all. So I could not record content. I could not record the podcast. Gabe is like, well, this is super peaceful. And then I took my inability to talk to just throwing things at him to get his attention. So I guess it wasn't that peaceful for him. But I'm so glad you're here. If you can't see my shirt because you're just listening to this, my shirt says, Hey Bestie. Hey Bestie. And if you don't know that tagline, I'm about to tell it to you. And I want you to listen in today because we are going to talk about the burnout, the feeling alone, the feeling like you have to go it on your own, and how I went from growing my business feeling like that to thriving. And that's what we're going to talk about. And let's get into it, shall we? Welcome to the Happy Agent Podcast, the place where real estate agents get real. I'm Courtney Benson, a Wall Street Journal ranked top 1% agent based in Dallas, Texas. After over a decade in this business, I realized something. This industry is full of gaslighting nonsense. The hustle culture, the polished perfection, the pressure to pretend. Yeah, we're done with that. This podcast is where we start doing things differently. We're bringing back the fun, the alignment, the real connection. With a grounded mindset, a lot of laughs, and total authenticity, we're showing up as ourselves to attract the clients, the opportunities, and the life we actually want. No, it's not always perfect, but we're here, we're building something better, and we're doing it together. You may have seen me on Inman News or catch me live on the NAR stage this September. But right now, let's get into today's episode. Welcome to the Happy Agent Podcast, and I would like to say I'm so glad that you're here. These last 2 weeks, I have had a lot of sickness, and I've also had the opportunity to get to go down to Houston. I spoke at the SOAR conference down in Houston, and that was a lot of fun. I've told you before, I do the podcast. I really enjoy doing the podcast, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know, do I like, I guess I like talking. Somebody on TikTok told me the other day, he was on my post and he was like, this girl, she talks a lot and she thinks a lot of herself. Well, shit, if you don't think a lot of yourself, I don't know what to say. Like, you should think a lot of yourself. You should think you're a great person. And weird to go on somebody's page and say they talk a lot. Well, sir, it's my TikTok page. You should tell them about the podcast. Anyways, well, I'm glad you're here. I want to talk about community. And before you're like, and just kind of roll your eyes, because that's how I always felt about the word community and just a community of real estate in general. I would typically avoid realtors. Sometimes we're kind of a hard group of people, right? Like, we're fairly egotistical, a good chunk of us. It's a real one-up culture. Agents get so much, like, I guess, a dopamine hit of telling other agents how busy they are. It's just like this thing that we do as agents, right? Where we want to tell the other person how busy we are. So we need to stop doing that. So in the 13 years I've had my license, I've kind of just been disenchanted with realtors in general. So anytime a conference or a convention or something would come up, I'm like, y'all are like a cult. Like, why do you need so much validation? I don't get the rah-rah. I was also never a sorority girl. I went to UNLV in Las Vegas and I did rush. But by the end of it, I gotta say I had a little bit of an attitude about the whole thing. So anyways, I dropped out. So I just kind of equate that to, I've never been a joiner. I don't understand the allure of it. And I was just kind of like, if you really need people to hype you up all the time, like, what's lacking in you? And I had a total attitude about it. Totally admit that. So when I joined Real Brokerage last November, so it's been almost a year, Gabe and I went to their convention that they had in Las Vegas. And I have said it before, like, not only did I drink the Kool-Aid, I bought the t-shirt. Gabe, who also can be a little curmudgeon-y about stuff like that, was like, God dang it, this is like really good. And I had just never experienced anything like that. And it wasn't super raw. I mean, it was like, you get the rah-rah and you get the energy and all that, but I just never been to something like that gave so much value. And I hate the word powerful when people are like, it's so powerful. I'm like, is it? You know, again, it's my cynicism. But it really, there's thunder in the background. Do you guys hear it? I don't know if you hear it. It's raining today. I really felt like I belonged there. Like the words they said, the things they were doing, the energy, people were extremely positive. The year that we joined last year, it was a rough year for a lot of agents, and nobody was complaining or bitching about it. Like everybody was super positive. So that was really my first foray into the conventions and things like that. And like a year later, like stop, I'm like going to these things and people have me coming in to speak. And when I tell you it fuels my soul, like I guess I was just missing out for for so many years. But I don't want you to think that I am full on cult status with real estate conventions and conferences, because I did go to a really big one here in Dallas 2 weeks ago, a really big what is he, a coaching program kind of thing. I went to that, and I had never been to I never really followed his stuff. He just has a lot of energy and, talks about cold calling and all that. And I just never resonated with it. So I decided it wasn't for me before I even really looked into it. I take ownership over that one. So when I did get there and I listened to him speak, I actually really liked him. I didn't really find the value in the coaching necessarily, but I really liked listening to him speak. I liked the camaraderie. I will say this last big one that I went to in Dallas, but didn't love it when I actually used this. So I bought this on TikTok Shop. This is the Plod Note Taker, and they talked about it actually during the conference. So during the conference, I just turned it on and set it on my lap, and the Plod took notes and it listened and summarized it all. And I told you about that when I did the summary of the Tom Ferry event. And then I sent all the information to Gabe, and Gabe was like, well, when you take the fanfare out of it, there wasn't a lot of substance, at least substance that we had not heard before. So I thought that was really interesting. But here's my take on community. And if you feel like you're not part of a community, or you're not where you're supposed to be, or you haven't found your people, I would encourage you to go do that. I did not do that for years because I just had a chip on my shoulder about it. And I was like, they don't understand me. I don't like what they have to say. This is stupid. I've heard this before. This is novice information. And I always just kind of had a reason why I didn't vibe with it. And going to that convention, that first convention with Real last year, really opened my mind. So I went to that, and then I went to Rev B in San Antonio, which is a real estate video blueprint conference, and I had another very similar reaction of what a cool opportunity to be with all of these people who they think differently, they have different ideas, and they're sharing. And this is one thing I like about the brokerage that I'm with, is very much collaboration over competition. And I love that idea. And in a world where we can often feel less than because so-and-so is doing this on social media, or their life looks a certain way, or they sell a certain amount, or they're getting awards, or they're doing all these things, I'll often find we feel like we're coming from a deficit. Like we're always trying to catch up to the next person, not even surpass them, just like catch up to them. And we always feel like we're behind. And, I get that. I mean, even I'll go to these sometimes, and I'll hear other people's businesses or what they're saying, or they're up there and they're talking about all this AI stuff, and I get it for the most part, and I'm playing around with it, but I'm like, son of a bitch, like I am 48 years old. I cannot take on one more freaking thing, but I will. And it's easy to feel like you're always behind. And sometimes that doesn't put you in the best frame of mind when you walk out of there. But lately, I've really, in the events that I'm going to, I've not experienced that. I've experienced a lot of support, a lot of fun. I love listening to other agents talk about their businesses and how they do things differently than I do, or see things a different way that I'm able to incorporate. I don't know, maybe I should have given them a chance before. I don't know. I guess I wasn't in the headspace for it. But today, I will be on stage at Rosemary Lewis's Real Estate Bestie event. And if you don't know Rosemary, look her up. She's on Instagram, Rosemary Lewis. I'm so grateful that she partnered with me going over to Real Brokerage. But she has, when I tell you, ma'am, she has thought of every detail. The people that show up for her are incredible. So this is her second year doing this conference. She did it last year and it was incredible. And this year it's even bigger. And she has the Real Estate Bestie. So last night we did the kickoff party in Frisco, Texas, and they had a DJ and drinks, and it was so much fun. And I bought a t-shirt, and I got a couple other t-shirts for some of my ladies. And we're really excited to support Rosemary and just the community that she creates, and some of these other agents or people who create these communities, and which was what I'm hoping to do. Is we're still figuring out the happy agent and what it looks like. I don't want to do anything that doesn't feel genuine. This whole happy agent community is an experience, and I'm learning, you're learning, and how we can grow this together. And Rosemary is such an inspiration to me, and she has every last detail just nailed down. And the joy on people's faces when they walk in and see how much thought and love that she put into everything, and how grateful they are for that, is so inspiring. And again, if you are not part of a community or don't feel like you're part of a community, from somebody who has always kind of felt like that, like an outsider, who just now I've started to get into it, I would encourage you to find one thing to go to. Find a group that's in your area, whether they're with your brokerage or not, and start tapping into people. Because especially with all of the technology that we have, I do feel like people matter more than ever. That physical ability to go see somebody, sit down for coffee with somebody, just even pick up the phone and have a conversation. What that has done for my business has been tenfold. And I was always a person, I'm going to do it by myself. I can do it on my own. Leave me alone. I'm going to do it on my own. And it almost felt like a badge of honor that I was going to do it on my own. I didn't owe anybody anything, and I was going to be successful. And what it got me success, but it got me freaking burnt out, got me exhausted. I was not the best version of myself. And once I found my people and started letting them in, the love that they've given and the things that they have done and shown me has tenfold made me not only a better person, made me a better business owner, it's made me a better realtor, it's just made me a better human. And I just wanted to share that, because we often, when we are feeling alone and we're feeling like nobody understands us, we can, as people, can have a tendency to be like a hermit crab and pull our shell up over us, that it becomes a form of protection to dislike those people back. Like, okay, well, we weren't welcomed, or even when you don't try to be welcomed, or they didn't invite me, even though they didn't know I wanted to be invited, whatever it is, it's easier to, instead of saying, hey, I didn't raise my hand or let them know I wanted to be a part of something, it's easier to just tear it down. When you feel like you're on your own and you're struggling, that's just easier thing to say than to figure out how to become a part of something. And so if you're listening to this today and you feel alone, it's, we're in the last quarter of the year. It's been a hard year for a lot of agents. It's been a great year for a lot of agents, but the world has just changed, right? Horrible things happen in our world. It seems like every single day, and they get sensationalized, and then people get divisive about it. And I don't know that we're going to change that. I don't know that we can change that. I do know this last year I've taken a conscious effort to just, I don't watch the news anymore. I just love on my people. I hang out with my people. We bring in more people and just find if we just sit with each other, we talk about business, we talk about life, we talk about how we can be better at all of those things, it changes perspective. It's changed my perspective. So I don't look anymore for things to be bad. I look for things to be good. I look for people to be kind to me. I look for people to be loving. I look for people to present me with opportunities to be better and to grow, because that's what I've decided the world is going to do for me. And when you shift your energy into that and your mind into that, your subconscious will start looking for it. It's wild. And if it feels woo-woo, just know there's a whole lot of science behind it. That I said, it's like when you're going to go buy a new car and then you're like, I'm going to buy a white Jeep. And then all of a sudden everyone has a white Jeep. And you're like, did everybody get a white Jeep because I wanted one? It's the same kind of thing. It's your subconscious telling you. And so if you can teach your subconscious to look for things that are better. I look for people to be kind to me. I look for people to give me opportunities. I look for buyers and sellers to reach out to me to help them buy and sell properties in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I look for those things. And when you look for them, you will find them. If you look for bad, if you look for people to not like you, if you look for people to shun you or be mean to you, you will find those as well. You will find what you're looking for. So look for good. Look for the people who are going to be good for you, who will raise you up. A year ago, I did another thing where I really started looking at the people that were around me and influencing me and the people that I spent time with. And not everybody was a positive influence on me. I know people struggle from time to time, but if you are constantly surrounding yourself by people who are struggling, who are negative, it is very easy to go down that path with them. And you don't owe that to them to go down that path with them. You don't owe it to them. You owe it to yourself to be the best version of you. And if that means you have to cut that off, then that's what you have to do. But you have to just keep moving forward. And again, find your people, raise your hand, ask to be a part of things. If you see a group that you want to be a part of, get involved. Ask how you can help. Tell them, hey, I would like to be your friend. I would like to be a part of what you're doing. Here's what I can bring to the table. Here's how I can help. And then pursue that. And once you make that change, once you start looking for the good and the good people and the positivity out there, you will find them in spades. I promise you. And the changes that it will make to your life and to your business will be tenfold. So I hope that helps today. Again, if you're feeling lonely or you're feeling stuck or you're feeling like the world is just too much, train your brain to look for the good. Train your brain to look for the good people when things are bad. Train your brain to look for the people who are having success when others aren't, and go towards them. It will change you. I promise. All right. Well, have an absolutely amazing day. I will see you guys next time on the Happy Agent podcast. We got Ryan Gillen coming back up. She's my business therapist. You guys all know her. And we have so much to say and share. Ryan's got a lot to share, again, about energy and business. As we finish out the last quarter of the year, we need to start building for Q1. So all of the work that we're putting in now, whether it's working with our sphere, getting our social media together, working on ourselves, all of that, we're going to see dividends in the first quarter of next year. So where are you going to be in January? All right. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.